said that where they were able to start that is his own time. What's the difference between that and maybe the last 10 minutes?
I think the last 10 minutes of the first, what happened was we had trouble ending plays, and so we got stuck in our D zone. That our D gaps weren't good enough in the last 10 minutes of the first, and then I thought our ability to then go close in the defensive zone, both from our low players but also our wingers, I thought we're giving up too much time up top. So that just made us spend a lot of D zone time. And if you spend D zone time, by the time you get a turnover or whatever, you're 25, 30 seconds in your shift, you're tired and you can't push the other direction. So that being said, the goal was just a knuckler. That was a lucky goal. It wasn't, wasn't a real high-end play that ended up putting them in the lead. But they did outplay us the last 10 minutes of the first.
What did you take? Respect penalty, was that was kind of a bad call there? Led to their power play?
I have no idea. I don't know what a penalty is, so I can't answer that.
What did you take away? Creative, and you made a few changes. You got a little more pace, a lot more zone time out of it.
I thought the second and third we did a lot of really good things. I think we outshot them 13-4 in the second period. I think the shots chances were probably heavily in our favor in the third as well. Would be my gut feel. I haven't looked at it yet, but I think we did a lot of good things. Obviously got 2 goals. With the way the game's being officiated, you got to score how we scored because it's tackle football out there. So you just got to get to the net and get screens, tips, rebounds. And we've scored a lot of goals this year that way. So I'm not worried about that. So we played smarter in the second and third. We played behind them more. We got our forecheck going more. The last 2 games, they've been committed to being above us with numbers, probably forechecking less aggressively to stay above. And when they have that many numbers above, you got to be willing to drive it deep or chip it deep and go retrieve it and win the trenches, so to speak. And I thought we did that better in the second and third period.
I think just given that they've scored so many goals and now we're just so hard.
No, we've went through this. I said this to them after the second game. Like, we've had an incredible run where we've scored a lot of goals, but this is playoff hockey. This is more traditional playoff hockey, 3-2, 2-1, those types of games. So you can't get frustrated. You need to get pissed off. Yeah.
I know that it's tough to get opportunities with how well they play defensively. Is there a silver lining knowing you guys had a ton of chances and that eventually you'll capitalize on as the series goes on?
Yeah, we'll look at the video and see the themes of why we are creating more chances, and then try to capitalize on that a little bit more. So we definitely, but I felt that way in game 2. We had probably the better of the looks in game 2, and sometimes also you got to give credit to your goaltender of the opponent. I thought that was second game. He was really strong for them.
Changes you made in the lines in the third period, how'd that work out?
It was better. Tried to spread out our heaviness a little bit more to give some of the other guys more help in puck battles and things of that nature. So I changed it late in the second. The goal that was scored was Olaszewski with Weisbach and Roseanne. So I made a few changes in the second, and then after the second, we talked as a staff and came up with what we came up for the third. And again, it was with the intention of spreading out some of the heaviness of our forward group to create more sustained ozone time.
That more of what how goals are going to be scored, where Warren wins a battle and keeps it alive, and
yeah, I think that the first and second goal. The first goal was win a foot race, change point of attack, get it low to high, have a double screen, get rewarded. And the second one was win a puck battle and shoot it and win a rebound battle. And that, unless the officiating changes in terms of what is being called, that is how we're going to have to score. That's fine. Then we'll score that way.
Line changes, you had Matthew Savoy paired up with Yuri Leak and Rose. I'm sorry. Rose. Yeah. How do you think that line played tonight?
Not very good. Yeah. And that's why we made some of the changes we made. Doesn't mean they individually weren't good. I think individually they did some good things, but I thought as a line that didn't have a ton of chemistry. So that's why we changed. That's one of the reasons we changed some of the things up.
Tackle football, which is obviously happening. What are they doing defensively that is really keeping us in trouble?
Well, they got a big physical team. They're well coached. They're the best defensive team in the league. So this isn't surprising. None of this is surprising for us. This is exactly the team we thought we'd be playing, and we got to score more dirty goals to be able to get to them. They're an aggressive forechecking team that has become less aggressive in the forecheck because of the speed we have in transition. So they're trying to stay above. They're really committed to staying 3 or 4 guys above the puck, so that then you can't have your line rushes, right? So those are the things they're doing, and they're doing them well. I thought we adjusted well in the second and third and created tons of looks. We just got to capitalize on those looks that we created.
On Cooley, different game. I mean, it's obviously tied if it goes in, but you know, he had the hot hand. He had the magic touch for a long time, and now they're not going in. And
Yeah, I'm not worried about Kulik. He'll score. About who?
About Savoy for 2 games.
Just how hard he plays and how competitive he is on the puck and the pace he can play with.
Versus blocking a ton of shots, what do you guys have to do offensively to kind of adjust to that?
I mean, we've been blocking a ton of shots too. I think we had more blocks than them in the first 2 games. That's playoff hockey. Everybody's doing anything they can to win. Our D-corps can do a better job of getting shots off quicker, finding lanes, or shooting wide for tips and things of that nature. But, I think that both teams have a high commitment to playing, winning hockey right now. The scoring chances are hard to come by. And it's not just for us. Their scoring chances for them are hard to come by too. We've given up, 3, 5, 6 goals in 3 games. So we're doing a lot of good things defensively as well. And it's a hard-fought series.
Concerted effort in the offensive zone to get all 5 guys moving.
Well, they play man-on-man. So movement, you're trying to create some movements like that to create some confusion, some chaos. Because if you don't have that man-on-man, especially against a really good defensive team like they are, sometimes it's hard to break them down. So I thought we did a better job of that as the game went on. But you got to be careful with that, because with that, you still need to have your net presence. You can't get so enamored with the movements that you vacate the net. We need a net anchor, and I thought we did a better job of that in the second half of the game, having more bodies around the net. But movement is important against a man-on-man team, correct?
Experience is this 4 out of 7. There's not a week off. It's every other day. It's like a real NHL-style playoff series.
Yeah, it's a tremendous experience for our team, for the individual players on the team. So I think we've done some really good things. Went on the road, won game 1. Thought the last 2 games we've given ourselves a great chance. We didn't win, and at the end of the day, this time of the year, that's what it's about. It's about winning games. But when you take a step back, we put ourselves in position to win both these games. We just didn't. We didn't execute offensively quite as good. Their power play scored a couple goals. Their goaltender's been really sharp the last 2 nights. So now we'll need to adjust. I thought we made some good adjustments in the second half of this game that led to a lot more offense. And now we'll need to do the same thing on our off day. Rest is a weapon right now. And that's something that, the young guys especially, but even a lot of our old guys haven't gone through a 7-gamer where it's every other day, and the importance of physical and mental rest. So we have fresh legs coming out in 2 nights from now.
what a series is adjustments. I mean, they back off their forecheck and things like you mentioned, so.
Yeah, we've adjusted, and some of it's worked and some hasn't. They've adjusted, some of it's worked, some hasn't. So that is a bit of the chess match. But we've done that every game the whole playoffs. And our guys have done a really good job of being able to make those adjustments. Now we need to make them without practice time, which is harder to do for younger players. Where the other series is, there was the potential, not every time, but of having a day or two of practice to work on some of the adjustments. So you could get them into your reps and your habits. So now you have to do it without that as much. So that's sometimes a little trickier, but I think we did a pretty good job of it tonight. We'll need to do a better job of it in game 4.
How do you think Malcolm Subban played tonight?
Subi was pretty good tonight.
Is there any talk about the fact that it is tackle football out there and you have to tell the guys anything, or is it just?
No, you just got to fight through it. The refs call what the refs call. You can't control that. You don't worry about it. You play through it. And that's, you can't worry about things you don't control.
Are there conversations between games?
Not by me.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't know if they were with the coaches.
There's a little bit shuffling this around. Are we looking for something different there because the D seemed to go off the whole tonight?
I don't think that's a fair statement. They're a really good hockey team, and again, it's the third game we've held them to mid-20 shots on goal. So I don't think the D was all that cold tonight. I think some of the juggling was probably more than anything when you're down. I thought Zach Metza had a fabulous game, so we're trying to get him more ice and some more offensive situations, and I thought he delivered upon that.